Hi, this is Anthony from Morgan Hill Art School. Thank you to the Santa Clara County Library System for including us in their virtual interactive videos of instruction here. Today what I have is a 3D water lily, Claude Monet inspired, and I'll show you how to assemble this. First, I kind of want to show you where I came across the resources for this. This is dickblick.com. It's an art vendor, art site. If you go to the top of their webpage, you see for educators. Once you click on there, it'll take you over here to the free lesson plans, and that's where I found that lesson. Again, this is Claude Monet inspired. So you can see here's this water lilies. I mean, these are, I'm sure many people have already seen these over the years. Super famous, super well known. And this is like a 3D version of those water lilies like you would see here. These are supposed to be original paintings of him, but some of them I think are reproductions by other people. But anyhow, water lilies from Claude Monet. Okay, nice thing about the Dick Blick resources, when I found that project, it's just the Claude Monet water lilies. I believe the artwork look like this. Claude Monet water lilies, Monet's water lilies there. Nice thing, it came with this template. If you don't have that template, it's fine. You can make your own, but I would suggest to have a large, a medium, and small leaf. So once I cut out my three templates, the small, medium, and large, I arrange them on some sheets of construction paper or whatever paper you have. The best, what I found was really cool, was to do these on watercolor paper. And watercolor paper, you have to paint the front and the back. Let that dry. You know, I was going for like different effects. I wasn't going for smooth washes, but anyhow, then I traced, once I was dried, I traced the leaves on top of those and cut those out. That's this one here. That's with the watercolors. Okay. Anyhow, you can use, you know, just colored paper, but then you're gonna trace those out. I try not to waste any paper. I try to fill this up as much as I can. You can also just do the same. You know, if I went this one across, I believe I can get 4 across this way. And then I can get 3, I think, of these small petals going across the top. So you can arrange them however you need to. I would say to have 4. You want to have 4 sheets of paper filled out. That's to ensure that you have enough petals. If you don't, you're not going to have enough petals, and it's going to look really weird. Some people don't have all the same colors, so you can do patterns if you want to. I would say to kind of, you know, make them look nice, though. Try not to do too many different patterns there. You're going to have a board here where you're going to glue your work around. I like to find a circle as well, and I'll just draw a circle going around this, and this will let me place my petals. Okay, so there's a little board. I'll place the petals around, so I'll put this away for later. Okay, now once I've traced out those petals and cut them out, I need to prop them up. So to do that, you're going to make a slit up the top. Don't go too short. The issue I see with this is people make it too short. I think it's better to err on being a little larger than small. Because if it's too small, the glue doesn't stick too well. So then now what I'm going to do, and you probably saw that there, I'm just going to lay a little glue. You can use a glue stick too. And you just want to crisscross the legs. Basically, these are 2 legs, right? You crisscross them like they're sitting together, or like they're sitting down. And once you hold this together, you can use, like, you know, paper clip or whatever to ensure that you're getting a good bond, or just hold it for a few seconds. And then see how it propped up your leaf. So how the leaf stands up on its own. Some people like to, at this stage, start folding back the petals too, because it's difficult to do that once it's already on your board. So you can do that if you'd like as well. So you're going to do that to all your petals. You should have about 25, 26, 27 of these in total, not all large ones, small to large. Then what I'm going to do now is, you can see here I have a few other ones. So the arrangement would be around this circle. You want to, so that's one that's too short. It kind of worked, but I think it would be better if it was longer. You want to go start on the inside of the circle here with small ones on the inside. Then behind those, I'd place in the middle. Behind the middle, I'll put the large in. Okay, so you're going to have three levels there, right, of flowers. And it would be like this when it's all arranged. I got the small ones, the medium, and the the large. This is on watercolor paper, so it's really rigid, so they're like standing straight up. I'll show you the next step now. Okay, so now you know you've arranged the petals on the outside, and you're going to get this stamen on the inside here. And I'll show you how we do that. You're going to need a piece of paper. I use yellow. I cut a sheet of 9 by 12 construction paper in half, so now it's 4.5 by 12. I'm going to put a little fold here at the bottom. This gives me a guide as to not cut below that. So now I have to go all the way across, cutting down. You can make them in thin or as thin as you want. They don't have to be all identical, of course. And you would go all the way across, okay? With this, all the way across. Okay, so I've gone all the way across there with the fringe. So the fold helps keep it together, of course. Then you're just going to roll this up. I couldn't really tell if there's a difference if I go this way or that way. So I don't know if there's like a better way to do it. But anyhow, you're just going to roll this up into a cylinder. In there. Now when I get to the end, what I do typically is I'll put some glue there, obviously. Then to hold it together while it dries, because it's in a cylinder, so the paper is going to automatically want to go back to how it was previously, being flat. So what I do is I'll just kind of attach it with a paper clip and let it dry. Once it's dry, I can take the paper clip off. Sometimes you don't even have to. You can just leave the paper clip on there if you want. So that'll keep it dry for me. And then I'll set this aside while it dries and do the other steps. Okay, next I have 2 sheets of green paper. This is again 9 by 12 construction paper. 8.5 by 11 paper is fine too. I just cut it in half. I have templates of lily pads, although you don't need to do that. You can just draw a lily pad. I trace that out right and then cut it out, of course. So trace that out, boom, it's just like a bean shape for a lily pad. Now I would just cut that out, and I want to have 2 of these. Okay, then I would glue those 2 lily pads onto either side of my board. I found a blue board this time for this particular project, but I think it's white on the other side. It doesn't matter what you have, it's fine. So let's look at that again really quick. So you have your board, you've got to put a circle on the outside. You're going to glue your petals after you've cut them out. On the inside, start with the inside, go around in a circle on the inside of that circle. Then attach your mediums behind that, right? Then your larges around that. So you'll have 3. Remember, once they're, you can start folding them down if you want. Otherwise, they're going to stand straight up like mine. It's fine. It's how flowers grow. Once you have those 3 on and you've gone, once you've arranged all the way around your circle and you have all your petals, at least, 25, 27 of them I think is good, at least like 27. Then you can put an abundance of glue down there and prop up your stamen. I like go overboard with it. I just sit there and just pour it on all over the place, right? I get a good amount on there, right? And then, well, I want even more than that. I want like that there. And then I just kind of slide the base around like that and get it all over, and then just stick it on. And there, it's fine. It's going to stay up. And again, I didn't take the paper clip off because it's not quite dry on mine. I would let that dry, and then I can peel the paper clip off. Even after it's dried, I can cut it off. But I can leave it on there too. No one will see it. So again, right, you would have your petals on there, an arrangement. Okay, something like that, right? Going around your piece there. Oops. Of course, they're not going to stand up for me. There we go. So you'd have something like that going around, right, all the way around. And then, again, remember, you're going to put those petals on the lily pads on the outside. Once you're done, this is probably all going to fall because I didn't really try to glue it on. Actually, it stayed up. It's amazing. And once you're done, you'll have all these petals on the inside here. So mine have all fallen down because I probably should have folded those back before I glued them on. And now they all came in, which is fine. That doesn't fall in there. But anyhow. And then here's the other one. And again, there's Claude Monet's water lilies. Okay. Thank you so much for participating in this class, and I look for more videos from Morgan Hill Art School. Thank you.